Hey there, everybody. Hello there. Let me know if you're here. I'm Pam Coxwell. Welcome to my studio and happy Tuesday. So, as you're hopping on, I would love it if you would let me know you're here. You can let me know in the comments. And there's always a slight little delay, but I want to say hey to you. Want to tell you what we're working on and all the good things. Hello, Miss Wendy. I'm so glad to see you. Next best thing to seeing you in person, isn't it? Give you a big old hug. Hey, Connie. It's good to see you. All right, so today, let me give you a brief introduction for anyone who is joining for the first time. And if you are joining for the first time, if you'll let me know that in the comments, that helps me a lot too, because I want to make sure you know what's here. It is. I can see it now. In the comment, I want to make sure. All right, here we go. All right, we're saddling up, ready to get going. Hello, Deborah and Lisa and Deborah. Two Deborahs, Deborah Owens and Deborah, is it Spears? Deborah Spears. And cannot believe it, but my battery is off. What in the world? All right, y'all hang on just a second. Just a second. Let me get this. Don't want to go dead. I thought I had everything powered up, but at least it let me know. Isn't that right? Praise the Lord, it let me know. All right, here we go. Now then, so many little details involved. So many details. All right, let's start over. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Normally on Tuesdays, I am doing I'm doing lettering live on Tuesdays normally. So this is our normal time that we meet together and we do lettering and scripture journaling. And what I do is take the theme for that month's Creative Heart Studio and we letter it and do some scripture journaling. Today, though, however, we are not going to do that. We are doing something different. This is a special gathering, very special gathering to work on a very special project called the Nativity Love Story. And we've been working on this. We started it in July. We kicked it off in July with Mary and the Star. And then that led to a whole collection. And they were inspired by the book Two from Galilee by Marjorie Holmes. So I purchased this book at an estate sale and was just drawn into the title. So whenever I saw on there a love story of Mary and Joseph, it just started the wheels turning and thinking about, wow, I've never really thought about it from that perspective, but really the entire nativity scene, the entire Christmas is the ultimate love story, isn't it? Of God's great love for us, giving us the gift of his son, Jesus. So from there, it was just the ideas were coming to me faster than I could work on them, which I usually know that's the Lord giving me that creative idea, and so I give him the credit for that. But it was just burned on my heart to illustrate the characters, and I'm saying characters because we're doing animals also, that we normally do for our nativities around the Christmas season. So I was thinking about it because I have a big imagination. I always have, even as a little girl, would just imagine things and wondering what would it have been like to be there that day. Even for the animals, what would it have been like? What would it have been like if I was there? How would I have reacted and responded? Would I have known who that little baby was? How would I have responded? So I tried my best to illustrate the drawings that you see with these ornaments in a way of what my imagination imagines them when they saw the baby. So I even included the animals. So we often, in our home, we have a little wooden nativity that we've put up for years and years. And I know biblically, scholars say that the wise men got there later than we normally picture them in our nativities, but just for the sake of decoration and however you do yours, I wanted you to have something that would trigger a reminder that this is a love story and it's for you. It's for you. So it's very special to me. And my prayer is that as you work on these, that you will see as well how special this love story is. So with all of that said, let's get started, okay? So I see that we've got Marilyn here and Sherry, Brenda. Hello. I'm glad he did too, because it's been really good for me, Brenda, to really soak on this. Hello, my Southern friend Vicki and Jan. Look at all the Debbies and Deborahs. We're blessed with Debbies and Deborahs. I love it. Hey, Marla. Hope your trip is going well. Do it, girl. So Marla is traveling, I think, and has ordered the kits. We have a kit for each set. She's not done hers yet, but she said she might do a mega crafting session. I want to encourage y'all to do that, because whenever I designed a lot of these, I turned the air conditioner down because it's hot here. It's hot. And it's kind of hard to think about Christmas because it's so hot. So turn the air conditioner down, put on some Christmas music, and y'all get all your supplies out and just start creating. Just start creating. It will be a blessing to you. I know it will. Okay. All right. So I see more of you hopping on. Thank y'all for being here. So I'm going to get started. And even if I don't recognize your name as you're coming on, just know I will see it later. And if you have questions, you can put those in the comments also, okay? So, hey, Elaine and Felicia, Amy, Bridget, Glenna, awesome. Okay, so what we did is I showed you the first two. No, I didn't show you Joseph. So I showed you Mary. There's two ornaments in each set, y'all. So, and there's an animal with almost all of them except for Mary. I used the star for her. Okay, so here's Joseph, and I illustrated this. I drew this so that, let's see, yeah, they could be facing each other like that. They're not holding twins. They're taking turns holding the baby Jesus, okay? So Joseph, his partner in his set is the donkey. There's the donkey. And we decorate the front and the back, okay? So I want to tell you, I'm going to circle back to this. I'm going to circle back to the vellum, okay? So let me show you the next set. So yesterday, we started the third set, which is the shepherds and the sheep. And I love that sheep. You can't see his eyes or his facial expressions, but I think he would have been really, really humbled to be there with the Lamb of God. The Lamb of God following the shepherd. Think about that. He's a sheep kneeling, peeping in at the shepherd, the Lamb of God. This is the one of the shepherds. So we painted the fronts of those yesterday. Hey, Kelly. So today we're going to finish these because we only did the front. I'm trying really hard to put stuff back where it belongs so I can find it. So we did this yesterday and didn't get the back. We painted the sheep directly on the paper because I wanted to show y'all the different ways to do this. So I painted this one directly on the book paper. And so we need to apply that today. So if you missed this, just scroll back on the Facebook feed to yesterday, Or if you've purchased a kit, it's going to be stored in our workshop hub. That's where I put workshops, is in our workshop hub, which is a platform that hosts all my lessons. And if you purchase the kit, or if you are one of our Creative Hearts members, you'll have access to them anytime you want to get them. They're going to be in the hub, and you can rewatch it or do a big mega crafting session and watch them that way. But that's a convenience that I wanted to offer to our members, our monthly members, and to the people who purchase the kit. So we're going to finish the back side of these. Then we will start the Wisemen and the Camel. So here's the Wisemen, and here are the camels, and we're going to do those today. I'm glad you've had fun with these, Kelly. I have too. And you know what? I've painted a bunch of these, and every time I do it, it looks different. So I'm just going to tell y'all that whatever we paint together today, it might look different. It's not might. It will look different than the samples that you see on the website or whatever. So yeah, they're a little bit trickier because they're so detailed, Marla, and that's where the vellum comes in. So let me go ahead and tell y'all about this. So if you've not watched the donkey, he's 2 layers. This top layer is vellum. It's a really thin, oh, I can't reach it. I had to move let me get my rack. So if you purchased a kit, you have the vellum. We printed out the vellum for you. This is what it looks like. It's really clear, translucent stuff. A lot of card makers use it. A lot of people use it for all kinds of things. But we went ahead and printed the design onto the vellum for you so that you didn't have to trace it or whatever. So I did it that way because of the detail in the donkey's eyes. Sometimes whenever you're using transfer paper to transfer your design over, and what I mean by transfer paper is, just something like this. This is called gray transfer paper. Sometimes it's hard to get all the small detail whenever you're transferring it. And to me, the eyes are the most important part of the animal, is to get the eyes right. So that's why I decided to do it with the vellum first, because whenever I was painting my sample, I was having a hard time getting the eyes right using the transfer paper. So that's the story behind that. So with the Wisemen, when we get to them, you'll see that I'm doing them a little bit different, because I want to make it a little bit easier for y'all. So to get those important details. So let me do this. I forgot to add my camera. Let's take a little bit of time and let's see if we can finish up our sheep and shepherd. I'm trying to get this so that it's out of the way, but I can still see the comments. Okay. Maybe like that I can get it. All right. So if you have questions, put them in the comments, and I'll try to get. I'll look up periodically. Hey, Destiny, I'm glad you're here. Destiny and I went to church together for a long time. You're precious, precious, precious woman, precious family. Okay. So we've already painted our guys, our shepherds, and then we've already painted the sheep. So I would like to take a moment and show you how to apply the paper for the sheep, because I think some of you might do it that way. So I forgot to add the camera. Probably see better if I added the camera. Okay, lots of details. Okay. All right. So this is not completely overhead. It is it's closer, so I don't have as much room to show you broad and wide like I usually do, but I felt like this would be the best way to do this. So let me do one more thing, y'all. Sorry, I needed to build this up just a tiny tad. I'm going to use my book. Hang on. This might move us just a little bit. So tell me in the comments, have you finished your other ornaments? I'm just curious how many people we have with us that have already finished the other ones, the other sets, and how many people have not even started, but they're curious about this, but they just not too sure about it. Let me know. Okay, so I've got my spot cleaned off a little bit. So I need a wood tag. And I've had a few people ask about these. So we should have these up available if you want to get these tags that I'm using. We'll have a set of, I think I did it as a set of 8. You can order them from me on our website. Okay, so look at what I'm looking at right now. So when I originally drew this, traced it over, do y'all remember I used my tag and I made an outline and I worked really hard to stay within that outline. So now what I'm going to do, and I meant to go, this is where I put down that gel, the gloss stuff that I was telling y'all about, and it dried clear. So see, those beads are just right there. And you can't tell the gloss or the gel medium that I put on there. I love the way it dries. I really do. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to use, so I'm hesitating because I'm thinking this through. I've been using the Pritt glue stick and gluing it down. And then because I went ahead and added the beads, which I've not been doing until I glued it down. And I realized that once I started looking at this and it's like, hello, you added the beads. We're going to make this work. So we could use Mod Podge. We could also use that gel and put it down with that. The thing is, I want to make sure that I keep it off the top just a little bit longer, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make creases right here like this. See, I'm doing like this. I'm trying to make it easier for myself to find where the fold needs to go, because I like to paint outside of that line so that I can have bleed. That's what they call it in the printing world, is bleed. So I'm just going to do like this, and that's going to help me know where my margins are. Does that make sense, everybody? Y'all can let me know. Okay. All right, that's good. This is helping me. So y'all just watch, and if you want to if you're a note taker, do that. But all right, so watch what I'm going to do. If you use Mod Podge, put the Mod Podge down on this, then apply your thing. I'm going to go ahead and use this gel. No, I'm going to use the Mod Podge because that's probably what y'all will use. So I'm trying really hard to use what y'all would use. So let me shake up my Mod Podge. And I try and always keep my good brushes away from my Mod Podge, because you know that will ruin a good paintbrush. I just try and use my rough paint brushes for my Mod Podge. So let me get one of my I call these my scruffies. They're just in bad shape. And all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a good coat of this down, and I know that some of this is I got to get used to the layout for this camera. I know that some of this is going to soak into the wood, but I don't want to have it sopping wet. But y'all use that word, sopping? All right, so I'm going to put some on the coat of it. Is that a Southern word, sopping? Okay. And I'm going to put some on the edge. And I'm doing that because I want to fold my paper over. So I'm just putting it on the edge. And some of you Mod Podge queens out there, I know that y'all are out there. Y'all might know a neater way to do this, but this is the way I know to do it. And you're going to see that with art, there's more than one way to do everything. So if somebody ever tells you that you're doing things the wrong way, then just know there's more than one way. Okay. Yep, comes from sopping up gravy. Yep. Okay. All right, so I'm just trying to make sure that I've got it lined up really well, and I think I do. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to get my little room card, and I'm going to pull out the parts that don't have the beads. So listen, if you've not done yours yet, normally I put the beads on after I've applied it to the wood, but I got a little bit trigger happy yesterday, I guess, and went ahead and put those beads on there. I think I was busy talking. All right, so I've got that on there, and I've got my folds, so I feel good about that. So what I'm going to do, see where the creases are? If you sew, you probably are familiar with this. This is how you can do a corner, I think is what they would call it. You cut right there. That's where the edge, this is where the corner is on the wood. So I cut up to that corner, and I'm going to fold that down first. But what I want to do is put a little bit of my hot glue on here, because I really do want to, y'all, me and this glue gun, I just don't get it. This is a popular type of glue gun, but I struggle with it. Let's see. The reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that I get it really good and tight. And you know, sometimes it takes time for that Mod Podge to dry. So can y'all see what I just did? I put a little bead of hot glue along the edge of my wood. Then I pressed down really hard right there so that I could go ahead and get that secure. Maybe that's the word I'm thinking of, is secure. I want it to dry quickly. You could use other glues. I'm just trying to move quickly because I want to make the most of our time together. So I'm just using this hot glue. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm making sure, let me see if I can hold it so you can see. All right, so I've got this edge right here flat. This way, if I've got any bubbles, they can come forward and maybe get smoothed out in that hot glue. And if you noticed, I had a piece of wax paper down there. What's that other paper? Is it parchment that you can put down and then your Mod Podge doesn't stick to it? Okay, so that is good and tight now. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to be good and tight. I didn't want any bubbles in there. So now what I can do is I have a decision to make. I can go ahead and put these pieces down flat and then add my collage pieces on the back. Or if there were words in here that I wanted to carry over to that side, then I would leave this up and do it under. But there's not on this particular piece any that I really want to save or preserve, whatever words you want to say. So with that being said, I'm going to get some of my glue stick, and this little fella's going to be all glued. We really could use the Mod Podge on the back because we're not going to have paint back there. But all right, so even though that's glue, uh-oh, that's got something in it. Look at there, that little bead got in there. Even though it's glued and not Mod Podge, I still want it to be smooth as possible. So I'm just squeezing it, squishing it out, squeegeeing. I'm making up words, I think. Okay. And then for this one, I'm going to do the same. Something's about to fall on me. There's that little rascal bead. All right. So look at here. I'm putting it. And look, y'all, my hot glue came unglued. Okay. I feel like maybe I'm not doing something right with that glue gun because a lot of people it's that Sure Bonder. A lot of people like that glue gun, but I have trouble with mine. Okay. All right, so now let me show you the other important part. We're doing this first before we glue our bag down. See, that's still, I'm continually stopping to look at it and make sure that I'm taking care of my front. Because y'all, you can mess up the front. You can mess up the front. Are you using the Sure Bonder glue? That's a really good question. I did not keep that bag, so it might not be the Sure Bonder glue. Does that make a difference, Susan? So Debbie has trouble too. So y'all give us your secrets on this. It's possible that it's not. Okay, so now look, some of y'all already know this, but I just felt like I needed to show you just in case. So see, I could just fold it down like that, but I'm going to have that little corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. Like a triangle. Like this. And then it's going to be smoother. Okay. So now let me do that. Here's my Pritt glue. I don't sell this stuff, but I like it. Okay, so that gave me a nice clean corner. Y'all see that? It's a nice fold. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna check that out because I don't really know if I've got the Sure Bonder. Since I'm having trouble with it, I bet I don't. I bet I don't. I probably got whatever was cheap. Okay, so I can't stress enough when you're doing this part to be careful so you can protect your front. And if you have a tendency to be messy, like I do, it's absolutely okay to do your back first. Then do your front. Okay. Now, what I want to do now, let me show you where's my thing? So the back part is a collage part of it. So, and we didn't get our little stuff right here because that's how we're going to finish off the front. So let's do this. And this is a good example. I could have made a big mess right there because I'm telling you from what I do wrong, I'm telling you. This is sticky, y'all. This is sticky. If I had laid the front down, the finished piece on that sticky, I could have messed this up. So I'm trying to tell you all the things to not do, okay? So because I've almost messed that up once, I'm folding that so that the sticky side is down. The sticky side is not up. All right, now then, let's quickly, I'm saying quickly because I feel like most of you probably know how to do this collage part. I love this book paper. I tried to find another one of these books. Look how, all right, it's so old. Look at this. Folded a couple of times and it just tears like that. It's amazing. So I really like that part right here that says finding the lost treasure. So I want to preserve that. So I'm going to cut this off. And look, I didn't even plan it that way, but look, just that piece right there fills in that blank spot. So I'm just going to go with it. Okay. All right. So because I'll come back with a color piece up there. I'm just going to go for it. So let's get this glue out and put your comments in there. I'll look up in just a minute and read them. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up to the edge like that. Push it down. Where's my card? I just like for it to be smooth. So I'm going to smooth that down like that. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now. So I want to put some color on here. So I'm going to look and see what scraps do I have. What, because we give you paper in the kit. And of course, I don't see my paper for this kit. So I'm just going to grab some of this other paper. This is from the Mary kit. So this is why we put the scrapbook paper in there, so that you don't have to worry about it matching or coordinating. Oh, look, that would be cute if the star wasn't already there to let this flip over, but I don't want to mess up my star. So I'm just going to do it like this. Okay. All right, so I'm lining it up with the top. And so for the edges, that is your personal preference. Okay, guys, it just depends. I've noticed that everybody's different about those edges. So some people want theirs completely finished off a certain way. You can decide. You could use a stamp pad to do those edges. That would work also. Look what I'm doing. I'm pulling it tight because I want this to be tight. And I want that corner to be kind of, I don't know if sharp is the right word. I'm just creasing it so that my corners will be nice and neat. And then I'm going to cut that because I don't want to cover up my star. There, we got it. See? Can y'all see that? Hey, Leslie. It's good to see you. Goodness gracious. I hope you and your family are well. All right, so there's another little point, y'all. I'm going to cut that. Whoops. I save all my scraps. You can use these in so many ways. All right, so look there. I did that same thing where I just put pressure on it and I'm rocking back and forth, and that just helps those corners get sharper. Does anybody have any questions about that? Because I don't want to go too fast, but at the same time, I don't want to bore you with something that you already know how to do. And all right, so the back part, here's how I did this. You could use these words as a traceable. You could trace it and letter it yourself, or you could just put this directly onto it. Or if you have a printer yourself, a copier, you could put your vellum paper in the feeder and run it through and let these print out for you. In the kit, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember which words because I don't have the complete kit up here with me. But anyway, let me stay focused. I'm about to get, all right, so we've got shepherds seek the shepherd. I want to put that one with the shepherds. So I'm going to cut this off so I don't forget. And then this one says, welcome, Lamb of God. He is my shepherd. All right. So I'm going to show you how to just do it directly on there. Let's do that, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. If you have a paper cutter and you want to cut these, if you want your edges to be nice and square, you might want to cut it with a paper cutter. For the sake of time, I'm just going to cut it, okay? And I've got a stamp pad. Another thing you can do is you could print out your pages onto off-white paper and it will give it that aged look. You could also do that. There's so many things y'all can do with this, really. So many things. All right, so I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to check this. It's not sticky, so I think it's okay to lay that down flat. So I could put this right there, and then let's get this one. I got to get my water. Hang on. Do y'all drink a lot of water? I try really hard to fill up my thing a couple of times every day, because I used to not drink enough water, and it's hard to get into the habit of drinking it. But once you get into the habit, I think it makes me thirstier. Like if we go anywhere, I'm bringing my water with me because I don't want to get thirsty. Okay, so I cut it kind of rounded at the top, and I'm just going to go with that same thing. So, but I'm going to do something else. I'm going to be very careful when I glue it down. I'm sorry, I didn't show you what I was doing. I'm rubbing it. If you have one of those fancy things, my friend Denise has one, I don't know what they're called, where they do the edges. You could definitely use that. All right, so let me put some glue on here, and I'm going to be careful not to get glue on the words, okay? Because I'm going to add a little bit of paint to that if I can keep the adhesive off. This would also look pretty printed onto maybe some yellow paper, or what other colors do y'all think would be pretty? Maybe blue? Water is the best. Yes. You had to print. Were you okay? I wonder if it's the settings, Deborah. All right, so look at there. I still need to pull this up and see at the bottom, I've got excess paper. So you've got a choice to make. You could cut it off, or you could fold it and it would be a little bit bumpy. I'm just going to cut it, and that's going to give me a cleaner. It would be, I don't know, it would just be easier. All right, and for this, I'm going to see if I can get enough of my fabric tack to come out. If not, I'll just hot glue it. How's that sound? Okay, Tammy just let me know. Yesterday, somebody said something about my Christmas shirt, and I said, well, this is one that we used to sell, but y'all, we have them in our website. So if you want, we don't have many though. So the one I'm wearing today and the one I wore yesterday, we have a few of those left. Y'all see what a hard time I'm getting my glue out. So I bet it's the wrong glue. I really do. Okay, because it's hot. I can tell it's hot. I may just use my glue stick for this because it does hold it pretty good. Let me just do that. Some of y'all are probably cringing the way I'm doing this. Goodness. I'm sorry. Making a mess. You see that? I love that burlap ribbon. You absolutely could print it on watercolor paper, Susan. You really could. And it would, if your printer will take watercolor paper, I recommend doing it that way. A lot of printers don't. You just, the ones that we do, we have to make sure that it's a, I don't remember the pound. I think it's maybe 90 pound weight watercolor paper. Another thing that's really good is illustration paper. So at Christmas Craft Camp, I know that you were there. Those cards that we put in the kits for Christmas Craft Camp, we printed one card design on watercolor paper and one was on illustration paper. Jill, there absolutely is so many ways, and there's no wrong way. And sometimes you just have to make adjustments. And if you're not willing to do that, then you won't enjoy it as much. But if you're willing to make adjustments as needed, you'll enjoy creating. Okay, what a mess, but I got it on there. And now I've got it so that my glue is easier to get out for our Wisemen. Okay, so I showed you this yesterday, but I want to do it again. All right, so this is a very sharp X-Acto knife. And this is my technique for doing the hole in a way that all right, so I'm feeling of it with my thumb and on my finger. I'm pressing and it's making an indentation. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it's made an indentation. So I can tell where the center of that hole is, and I'm going to cut it one cut up, one cut down. I'm making an X. Now, I generally like to do this when the paper is still wet and it forms better, but this still works. So I'm pushing it around in there, and what it does is it makes that paper line that hole. Then on the back side, I'll come back and I'll just kind of push that paper and do the same thing on the back side. And look how neat it looks. That's my little trick. Okay. So now let's do this. We talked about this yesterday about outlining this and needed to let it dry a little bit because it will mess up your paint if you try and do this while it's wet. Oh, not your paint, your pen. So let's see about doing a little bit of outlining. All right, let's see if you can see this. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go lightly around different parts. I'm not outlining every part because if I did that, I don't want it to look harsh. I like for things to look loose. And this is the one that I messed up, I think. So I'm just doing kind of a sketchy outline, I guess is a good way to say it. What in the world was that? Okay, this is not working, y'all. Let me get this. Let's do this one. Okay. I'm just outlining just in a scratchy kind of outline. And it's up to you if you want to outline anything on his little fur, you know, put some little doodles in there. It's really however you want to do that. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to find a pen that still works, that I've not ruined. Okay. This is called an Identa pen. I used these for years and years to personalize tiles. Whenever I owned From the Heart, we would make ceramic tiles and I would personalize them for people. And this is what I would use because it's permanent. Okay, so I just got some outlines and it added some depth in there. And then the other thing I want to do, and I might have cut too much off to do it. Let's see. I wanted to put a little bit more burlap. I'm going to cut a little bit off of this one. All right, so I'm just going to cut this. And I want to add a little bit of that burlap right there to the babies, to the manger. So I'm going to do this. Do y'all have questions? I keep forgetting to look. Yours will do mixed media paper. Okay, I bet it probably will do it. It's just, you just have to test it. Okay. Now, there's the little straw, but we talked about yesterday, it would look cute with embroidery floss. You could use your yellow neo color or yellow pencil and draw some straw like this, and then do some on the bottom. But there's the front. Let's see if you can see that. And then, thank you, Leslie. And then here's the back. So what I want to do, let me put glue on the back, the top on the back, is I'm just going to take my paint dots and a little bit of water on my brush, just like we did yesterday. And I want to paint that little heart. That adds color, and that's going to help inform me on where else do I need some bling. That's what we call it. The beads and stuff, we call that bling. I love beads and buttons. Okay, so there's some color. And then, you know, I mentioned that I might color that white, but I kind of like the way that looks. So I'm not sure that I am going to do that. Hang on. I'm going to get a wider brush. Let's see something. I'm going to test it so you'll know if this works or not. Okay, so I'm taking some of the buff. That buff is very similar to this old paper that we like to use. Okay, so I just did a wash over that, and so it does work. And do it like that. You'll see that. What I should have done, though, is done this before I did the red, because you know what happens if you go over that red. Red is the dominant color, and it will go, I mean, it will infect all your other colors. See that? Okay, so that just aged our paper just a little bit. Shirley, that marker it's called an Identa pen. I'm going to type it in the comments because I can, it's I-D-E-N-T. Sakura is the company that produces these, and they have the marker tip and they have that fine tip. And in my opinion, if you're kind of rough, you know, with your stuff, they last a long time. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put the ribbon on this little fella. And you can do it however you want to, but in the kit, we kind of did it so that the lamb was more monochromatic ribbon and the Wisemen was the red. So, but it's your ornament, so you do it however you want to do it. And what I like to do to add I like to cut it in an angle so that it's sharp. And that way it's easier to run through there like that. And just like everything, there's more than one way to do these. So, all right, so let's do this. And I'm going to run my little twine through there like that. You'll see that. And so from this point, I'm just going to make a little knot. I've been doing them different. I don't know that I've done any of them the same. They're all a little bit different. So just do it however you want to do it. All right, so I'm going to do this like that. Goodness, it's almost 1 o'clock. And then I'm going to do this one at an angle like this. Okay. And then you can just take one of, you know, the wire Christmas tree hangers. You can take one of those and loop on there and just hang it on your tree. I think these would look pretty on a garland, like a Christmas tree garland. I think that would be pretty also. So then you can decide, do you want to put some more buttons on here? Like a button right there would look pretty. And to finish these, I don't know if we talked about this or not, but I like to use the Krylon matte finish. Matte spray. And the way you do that is very carefully. So what you would want to do is take it and do a very, very light mist over the top. Let that mist dry. Do another very light mist and do that for maybe 3 times, and that should be good. So there's the back and there's the front. And I knocked most of my beads off being so rough with this. So, you know, we could add beads back or we could just leave it like it is. It's really going to be up to you. Really going to be up to you. Okay, so let me show you about the shepherds. I'm going to stop on this one because we could keep going on this, but I want to show you how to finish out the shepherds and then how we can start the Wisemen. So here's our shepherd, guys. So now we need to put a back on them. And so we're going to do it very similar to how we did the other one. And in the kit, there's also a dictionary page. I love dictionaries. This one is really old, and they're like little treasures. So hidden treasures. You can look in here and see, is there any words in here that, you know, I want to use and incorporate into my design. I don't really see anything. Well, there's the word believe. And this is what we're going to put on the back. So I might just do that, y'all. I might just do that. So I'm going to cut this word out, the definition out. That's how I'm going to do it. If I can. Making my eyes go crossed. Doing this on a paper cutter would be more exact, but all right, so I've got that cut out, believe, and now I'm just going to take this paper because I already cut out the part about the lost treasure. All right, this is that paper that is really yummy. It's so pretty. Look how easy it folds. All right. So does anybody have any questions? Are y'all still here with me even? This is going long. Oh my goodness. I hope it's helpful. Hope it's not boring you and finding it helpful. So let me know your comments. Let me know you're still here. I still need to do my giveaway too, ladies. Don't let me forget that, because so here's what I'm going to do for the giveaway. You can choose if you want to get, I have a few extras of the 2 from Galilee book. You can get that, or I can send you one of my lettering kits, or I've got the print bundles from our calendar. If it's like a bundle of 12 prints. All right, so here we go. We can fold this up like that, just like we did on the other one. Thank y'all for letting me know you're still here. I love the old book pages too. Okay, so I'm going to put some color there. And I think I'm just going to use this since that's what I used on the other one. Whenever I do these kits, I try and make sure that everything is going to work together. So whether you got you could probably pull anything from any of the kits and it's all going to coordinate. I pick out the color for the paints that way, the beads, all of it. And I do that intentionally so that I just wanted to help you so that you know that anything you get from any of these kits is going to work. Whoops. So I'm using the same process, y'all, that I did on the other. And I've got to decide if I think I'm okay with that green crossing over a little bit. So I'm just going to leave it. All right. So now here's my words. Shepherds seek the shepherd. And I'm just going to cut this out. You know, I said that we included vellum. We might not have included vellum on this one. I think I just did it on the ones that were so tiny. So I might have told y'all wrong. Did anybody know? Oh. Yep, didn't realize that there's 2 tags in each one of the kits. Yep. Okay, so I like this, and I'm going to carefully glue this down. Find my glue. And I'm going to be careful not to get it on the front because of the paper, because I want to be able to add a little bit of color to that. All right. So yeah, I'm glad you said that. Okay, it's not with that kit. Okay. Oh, Carolyn, I'm sorry it's overwhelming. It's not meant to be. Start with one and just slowly work your way through it. That's all you need to do. So this started out, let me tell y'all this story. The original plan was I had a little string under there. That's why I took that off. I was going to release one of these a month so that you could work on it a little bit at a time. And y'all, it just didn't work out that way. Everybody was excited about them, and I was excited about them. And I was taking part in an event that I'm in a Christian creative business group. And so we were doing an event together. And I thought, I should go ahead and do Joseph and the donkey. So that's what I did. I went ahead and released him. And so then it's like, so when are we going to do the others? So I just went ahead and just did them all, y'all. I just did them all. But don't try and get it done all at once. Just work on it when you can so that you can enjoy it. But if you have questions, I'm here for you. Okay, so I'm about to pull that over. And for this one, I had enough of the fabric glue. I like using it better. Had enough of that coming out that I could use it. Okay, that's right, MK. So, yeah, so 2 of the kits have the vellum and 2 of them don't. Because I don't think we did the vellum in the Mary. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to take my watercolor paint, and I'm going to get some of that buff. You could paint this before you applied it. It's just going to buckle up a little bit because this is just copy paper. And I just like doing it better just right there on it while it's flat. You could also use water-soluble markers if you wanted to. But that just helps it look a little bit more aged. Is that how you say it? Well, good. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa said she's glad I went ahead and did. Me too, because it's easier even on me to go ahead and create them all while I'm in that mindset, because I've got other stuff that's coming. And so I need to get my brain on that. We've got another journaling week coming. All right, so I'd already punched out this side, so now I just need to do this one. So I'm pressing in, and because this paper is still damp, then it's easier. And I'm just cutting across, then cutting down, just making a a cross shape. And then I'm just turning it around. Oh, there was vellum. Okay. Thank you, MK. I don't know what I did. You could do these for every season. Yes, I think so. I'm going to do the, I want to decorate a garland with these. I think it would look pretty. Okay, so while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and do the ribbon. I got to find my star because somebody had asked, am I going to show how to do the star? And yes. So with your star, you should have had a little piece of rusty wire. And of course, I don't see mine. It was in here, but it's probably somewhere on my table. And this just triggered my memory that I forgot to tell y'all this. Even the tissue paper in your box coordinates with your ornament. So we could have covered the back of the ornament with the tissue paper. I totally forgot about that, y'all. I totally forgot. So you're going to need to look for your little wire. And don't be like me and lose it. It's just a little piece of rusty wire, and I don't see mine. So ideally, what you would do, let me find it. So this is how I did mine. I don't remember who asked me about it. So I did my ribbons first. Then I ran that rusty wire through that hole and twisted it around. And you can just decide if you want the star on the back or if you want the star on the front. It's up to you. But that's how I did it. And I can't demonstrate it because my rusty, wait, here it is. Thank you, Lord. I thought this was a string. It's my wire. Okay, so let's get this show rolling. We might have to do all of the wise men tomorrow. Let's see. All right. For those of you who are new, if you want to stay in the loop on what kind of stuff we're doing and announcements and reminders, if you want to type in the comments the 2 words Happy Mail, that will get you on our Happy Mail list, and you can get updates whenever I'm releasing new products or new designs. It just keeps you in the loop. And then for text reminders, I put it in the comments up toward the top, but you can text our text number and get the reminders for that. Okay, here we go. Can y'all kind of see that? All right, so what you could do, it's up to you. You could take your wire, run it through your hole, and see how I don't know if y'all can see that. It may be losing focus. I'm just kind of wrapping it around like that, and then I'm coming forward, and I'm going to bend that sharp part down. If I had my pliers, I would easily have made a little curly Q. See that little curly Q? So, yeah, good. Thank y'all for typing that in. That way we can keep you in the loop of what we're doing. You can find any of these kits on the website, and I also put that link up there at the very top of the comments. We've got a whole collection of things, whether you get the DIY kit that has the paint dots, it has 2 of the wooden tags. It's got basically everything you need except for your adhesive and your paintbrush. And for the paintbrush, you just need, you saw what I'm using, just a little small pointed thing. All right, so I'm taking the wire and I'm just going to run it up under that little loop. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Okay. And there you can have it like that. The reason I wanted to have it with the wire, it makes it more versatile. You could bend it around like this. I kind of like it on the back side because we had painted our star. You could do it like this. Good, Lisa. Yeah. If you're not sure if you're on the list, just type in Happy Mail and I'll be able to send you a link through your Facebook Messenger. So that's how you'll need to do it. Perfect, Debbie. So Debbie said, I give my grandchildren an ornament each year. This is what I'm giving them this year. I like having them available to work on. They are beautiful. Thank you, sweet friend. Thank you. And this will be special for them because it's made by their grandmama. Or what do they call you, Debbie? I'm a Mimi. Okay. So there's the shepherd. And where's our little sheep? Here's the sheep, front and back. And there you have it. So it's 1:07, y'all. So let's talk about the Wisemen. And I think what we'll do is we'll do the painting of them tomorrow. That'll give those who are working along with me time to catch up. And it also might be less confusing than because it's different paints and stuff. So see, even these scraps, you can use these in your ornament. You really can. You could, here's an example, like you could use them for your corners. Just glue it there. It would be really cute. That frayed edge, glue it on there, cut that tag off. Let me show you because I want you to see this. Like that. You could, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm just here to give you ideas. See, just glue it. And then we'll do one on this side. And I might do it the opposite. Nope. You could make this whole back piece a collage of ribbon even, y'all. There's just so many things you can do with this. So I promise you, once you start working on this, your creativity is feeding your creativity. And I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about this, but your creativity is a gift. And we all have it because we were created by the Creator, and He created us in His image. So He has given you the gift of creativity. Yours looks different than mine, and mine looks different than yours, but you still have it. Okay, so I'm just showing you an example. And so one of the cool things about this is the more you use it, it's like a muscle, kind of like your faith. The more you exercise your faith, the more you use your faith, the stronger your faith becomes. The more you use your creativity, the more you exercise that muscle, the stronger it becomes. And so forth. So you'll see that the more you do this, the more ideas that are going to come to you, the easier it will be to, I'm going to move this down here. The easier it will be for you to think of substitutions when something, just say you ran out, like I was doing. I was running out of my glue and I had to come up with a substitution for it. But I was able to do that. I'm making a huge mess. So you get my drift, right? You get my idea. Is that even a word? You get my drift? All right. That's not gluing very well. So I'm just going to leave it that way, y'all. Yes. Good. Kelly has used hers. Pulls more red in. Yes. Okay, y'all. So Debbie's a Gigi. All right. So we've gone over our time just a tiny bit, but we'll be back tomorrow at noon, and I will be locked and loaded and ready for us to start creating our Wisemen. We're going to do them in a very similar way, but I think I might surprise you in how easy it's going to be. Okay? All right. Oh, that's okay. Let me know in the comments if y'all have any questions. It does go by fast. It really does. I don't know why I thought that we could do the Wisemen and the back of the sheep. Yeah. All right. So we'll see y'all tomorrow at noon Central Time right here on the page. All right. Don't forget. Oh, drawings. Thank you, Marla. Okay, y'all, hang on just a second. Let me do the drawings. If you're still here. All right, I'm gonna hang on, everybody. Share my screen. All right, are y'all ready? Here we go. Oh, Shirley. Shirley won. Okay, Shirley. So send an email and let us know if you want to get the Two from Galilee book, a lettering kit, or the 12 art printables from our calendar. All right, so I'm about to do the other one. Let's draw again. Here we go. This is fun, isn't it? Sandy Causey. All right, Sandy. Awesome. All righty. So, Sandy, let us know. Let us know. Send an email and let us know which one you want to get. And we'll send it to you. Okay? I'm excited. Marla, thank you for reminding me because I would have forgotten. So, Sandy Causey, y'all let us know what you want to get. All right, y'all have a good afternoon, and we'll see y'all later. Shirley and Sandy, the two S's. All righty, bye-bye.